We got something else going on here. Watch out for the... You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. Cover crop's down. It's light in the front because I never actually spread manure, but then it gets real heavy up top. We are rolling in the planter. I'm a little worried it's going to rain this afternoon, which isn't good for cover crop down or planting. So, hoping it doesn't rain, but we might be racing the rain today. So, we're rolling. Got quite a lot of acres in front of me to do. This is the first day that I've actually been able to jump in the planter right off the back and get going. Usually I had to do prep work and stuff like that. I got one field that needs to be prepped. I'm hoping I can sucker somebody into running the tractor, but we will see. Appreciate you guys watching along, and let's see how much more corn we can get in the ground. I was having some technical difficulties. I actually planted all those rows up and around with no GPS. So we got in here, and I was saying weak satellite coverage, and I clicked over into here finally, and I'm learning. I came over to corrected signal, and when you click on it, when I clicked on it, it said positioning antenna was bad. So once I unplugged both antennas and plugged them back in, or it had an error, then it was happy. So I had to do that, and now we're in the task. Ooh, I better stay on course here. Now we're painting. I'm doing an A-B line. I didn't do the boundary of this field because we had some technical difficulties, but we're good. So I'm learning as we go, but that's the troubleshooting, because I kept powering it off, powering it on, and then it would try connecting, and then it did not, and I was like, well, maybe the satellites are having some issues, because they took a WAS satellite offline on the 7th or the 17th, I forget, and that will so there's our AB line. That will cause some issues. So let's see what we got. So save AB upper up FOSS. That's where we're at, upper FOSS. Okay, let's double check that our nothing's moved. Okay, we actually got to jump out of the task. It doesn't let you change things as you're in a task, which makes sense. So information 20 and 6 inches. That's been the best that I've found. So we'll go back, start task. Now we're good. I was worried we were going to plant all day with no GPS. Okay, now that I've run it for my own stuff, like I got rows that do this, and you don't know it, but damn, that's sloppy. And you try to do as best you can, you're focused on something, but even that row I was over while I was talking to you guys. So there we go. Let's go planting. Okay. And now you can watch the planter, you can watch what's going on. Look at the flex of that thing. I don't think it shows that as well as in person how much it flexes. Alrighty, we are rolling. I did realize, I think I got 3 row units that aren't working as good as they should. The speed sensor thinks it's off, but what I'm using this for is pretty much telling me if it's not planting anything. Over planting is not a thing that I'm worried about with this setup currently, but if it's not planting. So I got row units 1, 3, and 8 off because they were acting funny, but when I refill on seed and the seed boxes are low, ooh, we're right in the bushes over there. We'll pull them out and I'll switch them with the other row units or seed tubes I have. So I did try cleaning them, no luck, so maybe there's something wrong with them, but finally figuring things out. We're in a rhythm. So I'm in a big, well, one of my bigger fields here, and we are setting the boundaries. GPS is all good, so what happened earlier was it didn't know where it was, and I don't know why. This did tell me that it had an issue with the positioning, and that it saw the satellites and everything was happy. So I just unhooked everything, hooked everything back in. The antenna was knocked over from going through trees, lower trees, the one antenna. So 2 receivers and 2 antennas. Well, we're making our boundary line, and then we're gonna just hammer down on this field. This is like ideal planting. Like dry, wind's blowing just a little bit. It is 95 degrees out. We are in the AC, which I'm very, very happy. You happy we're in the AC? He gets out every time I get out to check something or do something, and he runs around for about 30 seconds, and then he's like, nope, I'm getting back in the AC. So for being a dog that's originally, your genetics are from Australia, you really don't like the heat. Yeah, good little chunk here. I'm excited to get rolling. Finished all the long rows, so we got short rows back, well, shorter rows back here. Figured I should check and make sure that I got enough seed. Otherwise, I gotta tell somebody to bring me down some seed. Ooh, we're gonna get close. Yeah, we're close. I think there's a few over here that are a little more full. Ooh. Yeah, we are gonna be very close, which is good. I think I got 2 bags left in this 95 day, so I'll have them bring those down to me. We are on the move. So I'm headed to the ground that I worked yesterday in Concord, get all that done, and then move back. And I haven't looked at the weather, actually, to be honest. Kind of nervous. I'm hoping they're wrong. But tractor is in the last field that I can really plant before we chop the cover crop, but we gotta haul manure, chisel plow, cover crop. Lot to do, not enough time, not enough help. We're rolling. Stopped for some lunch, got myself a sandwich. I don't know where my wallet is, which is kind of odd. I'm glad I found 25 bucks in my jeans pockets this morning. So yeah, be good if I knew where my wallet was. There's something else I'm looking for. The graphite. I don't know where I put the graphite. When I filled up last night, I must have left it on the planter or something, or set it on the ground and forgot about it, because usually I have it behind the seat, and I went to grab it just now when we filled up, and I was like, hey, I don't have any graphite. Granted, there's a lot of graphite. And for those of you who don't know, graphite is used to coat the seeds. You put it on in the seed hoppers, and it helps lubricate the actual meters that pick up the seeds. So yeah, beautiful day. It's hot, 95, 96. So yeah, my sister did have her kid, so they had it at 2 a.m. and that makes me an uncle now. So yeah, we got a buddy seat. He'll come right around with me someday. At least we think. I don't know. Yanko, you on buddies? Yeah. So she had her kid. They're all healthy and everything else like that. But I've never had a kid. Supposedly it's a lot of work and stressful and things like that as far as the actual having a kid part. So she's in the hospital for 3 days, C-section. Just because, did I say previously that she got rear-ended by somebody on her way to her doctor's appointment? She stopped at a yield because the truck was coming and the car behind her did not stop. So she was stressed leading into it. But. So yeah, we're sitting here waiting on a change before we go into that field. How's that turkey? Loved it. Just needed a spare master link, and we'll throw this on. So he just showed up with seed, master links. Yanko, don't chase the bee. Chains are on, we're looking good. So just the master link popped out. Got some graphite, sprinkled that on that seed. You living a good life? Where's your friend? They were both over here. Yanko's having a play date. It's friggin' hot. We're gonna keep going. So yeah, let's get this planter back in here with no issues. No way were we gonna fit with that tree in the way. Just so good call yesterday, cutting that down, guys. You guys did a good job. Let's make sure we don't hit nothing as we come across it. We probably could have fit, like, what is it, thread in the needle, but just makes it way more challenging. So we'll get loaded up with seed, then we'll put these bags somewhere and have to grab them at a later date. But he brought me down seed. That should fill the planter for 20 some acres, what I got there, and I do got some left in it, so we're rolling along good though. I did a bunch of digs, corn seed digs, and checked that pass, and everything looked really nice, which you're always nervous with a new planter. You don't know everything. Well, new to me planter. Well, we'll get filled up. So switching to Master's Choice because I'm going to do some of mine. This isn't the 5250 that I was usually. This is a 5375. It is a Roundup Ready seed. So throw it in and get going. Mark did go out and pick 2 huge rocks for me and moved a pile of dirt that we pushed up against the stone wall. So we'll see. He said he thinks he moved the right pile. It wasn't up against the stone wall, but it was moved and it had like a rock in it or something. Last spring we pushed it out of the way, and then by the time they said, oh, we got to move that, it was already growing, so we didn't move it. So there are some rocks that are the ones we like to pick. Otherwise we leave them alone. There is one right there. You can feel it when you go over it, but I'm in the bushes a little bit. 8-row problems. So he did move the pile of dirt that I had there. I'm not sure where he dumped it. I told him to dump it over here. So their concern was this back wall is historical. So I'm doing 1 pass around as a square headland. So we're out here. We'll pick up, we'll pause it. And then, I don't know. Yeah, I do 1 pass here. It's interesting. So this is the field I cultivate. And it's been quite a lot of learning. About how to cultivate corn. But I enjoy it. We might go back and forth on this section this year. I don't know yet. Continue recording. There we go. Yeah, so there's a pile of dirt right there that we pushed with that 1 rock. So he cleaned it up. Oh, there was a stump. So we're actually good now. And they had asked me to do that, and as you guys know, there's still garbage out there, which is annoying to me, but yeah, doing this outside headlands might not actually benefit me at all, but I feel obligated to do it because I'm probably going to run over it a bunch with running around. We're working on it. Then we should be able to zing back and forth with this, and it should make our cultivating life a lot easier. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I'm gonna go back and forth this year or not. We might go back and forth this way this year instead of going. Last year I went like this because I'm leaving this buffer for the wetlands area down here. Yeah, that's what we'll do because then I can turn around in it. So I'll keep marking the GPS though, so it knows that we're there. We got a stump there we gotta move. Otherwise they get stuck in the cultivators and that's no fun. So it's working off the corner of the planter of what our boundary is, so we have an idea for the future. Now we'll save it. So I'll drive around here. He did grab the rock. Oh no, I think he grabbed the rocks. I got a few rocks here that we'll pick as we go along, like that I pulled up after I was done. But I think my AB line is going to be this back wall, and that's what we're going to work off of all day long. we've been like an inch to 2 inches off. I get over here and I'm a foot to a foot and a half off. And I don't know, like, this is why I really wanted GPS, so that I had straight rows for cultivating. And like, I got a 4-foot gap over there because one side was a foot and a half and the other side was 2 foot off, and restarted everything. So that's really annoying me, so I restarted everything. I wonder if, because I'm sitting next to an Air Force base, that I would figure I'd have better coverage, but maybe there's something that goes on. So I'm waiting for it all to connect again. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to unhook the marker arms, and we're gonna run marker arms, because that gap there, I'm really disappointed in that. But up until this field, we've been friggin' awesome, like absolutely awesome, on point. So I don't know why it's fighting me. Total restart. Now we're back in 3 inches or less, an inch, 0. And it's telling me I'm close to the front. So I got my limit set at 6 inches, which for what I'm doing is perfectly fine. So headlands here. I should have done 2 passes of headlands, but we're good. Okay, now I feel a lot better. I don't know why it did that, but I guess we'll run some passes on the longs and then see. But it was like a foot off, and I know, so I don't believe it at all. It was the FJ dynamic system. If you're a farmer, and you have GPS, you'll know that this year's been a struggle as far as them taking satellites off or not having satellite coverage, and people just losing satellites. So it is what it is, and it's part of farming. But my rows were all messed up, so we're gonna have some sloppy rows in here that we're gonna have to clean up at some point. So yeah, my back rows are, I got some rows here that I'm kind of disappointed with. But it's learning. I should have stopped and really got it dialed in before I kept pushing a little bit, and part of figuring this out. But everything going forward towards the road will be a lot better off. And when we come through with the cultivator, anything that doesn't line up will get well, cleaned up with the cultivator. Now we're going. So when I jumped out there, I found this. It's beat up, but it is a, where is it here? Emerson Drug Company Brom seltzer, made in Maryland, and I looked it up. That says 44 on the bottom, but I don't think it was 44. The ones I've been finding either have a cork or have this lid. They say the lids don't last on them because they rot away being in the dirt, but I thought that was pretty cool that it's lasted all this year. Probably early 1910s, 1920s, I'm thinking, based off what I looked at other pictures. So, freaking right on point now. Now we're going. So, I thought that was cool. I emptied the dirt out of it. I'm gonna hold on to that. So when this stuff works, as far as GPS, it is amazing. But when it's not, and you're trying to make a perfectly straight row like I'm doing here, it's a challenge. So last year, I planted this and I tried to make it straight going this way. Here, I picked that back wall, and it makes way more sense, and I would have never, I don't think I would have run like that. But when you look at the map on the field on the display, you're like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. So we're gonna run back and forth. We'll have some shorter rows up here, and then we got the short rows back in that left corner. But just about 6 acres here, and this is, if you're new to the channel, this is ground that I picked up that I farm for myself, and I farm it for myself, and I farm one other section, and I'd like to farm more and more, but it is challenging to get land. I've talked to plenty of people. We'll see what goes on in the future. So it's just the area. But this stuff's cultivated because of restrictions and the headaches of trying to spray it and whatnot. I'm in Minuteman National Park, so the National Park Service owns this ground. And there's, I think, 4 other farmers that are in the park, so. And then my other ground, the biggest reason was my other ground is 100% organic. They don't, no spray, couldn't even convince them on it. And cultivating corn made some really good corn. So we're gonna cultivate some corn next to some corn that we spray this spring, and we will see what goes on here. I should have made 2 passes on the headlands though. I know, when you stop moving it beeps at you because it thinks there's something, and then it goes quiet. It says it failed. Yeah, last year I did 4 passes on the headlands. I haven't really decided how turning around is going to be, but that 8-row cultivator actually folds up to a 4-row, so I think we'll be okay. And this is what, so right here is, can you guys see that? Right here is my where I forgot to press pause when we were doing the boundary, which is a handy feature when you're doing the boundary to tell it to pause. It is absolutely beautiful, other than it being so friggin' hot. So every time we gotta get out and do something, I picked a few more rocks while I was waiting on the satellite to reconnect. Get back in and you're like, holy smokes. So sure glad we're in AC right now. But this heat's gonna cause rain showers tonight. I'm almost guaranteeing it. So, which is a pain because our triticale will get soaked, take longer to dry out. It is what it is, right? All finished up, throw the gate up. I can hear thunder going on in those clouds over there, so yeah, hopefully that's south of us and that's headed east, so we should be okay for right now, but I have a feeling rain's gonna catch me and I'm not gonna be done. So we'll get going. 1 more field and then we got some disking to do, and then 2 more fields after that. 4 total, but 3 are all together, so it's good. My own corn's planted. Had some GPS issues in the back, and yeah, I could have planted without it, but the whole point was it makes some damn straight rows, and when we come back to cultivate, we can follow those damn straight rows and do a good job. So I'm cruising down the street, my 6'4". No. I look back, chain's gone. Turned around, grabbed it. Pretty much the master links just come apart on these when we start moving down the street. So let me see if I can, where's this master link? And I'll take it right off. That way we don't lose it as we go to the next field. The other one had these flipped up. There's a spring, but I didn't switch that because I was like, oh, well, next year we're gonna do something different probably. Oh, master link's up there. I'll get it off. That way we'll just throw it on when we get to the next field. So yeah, them running down the road, even though I'm doing like 15 miles an hour out of the 25 I could go, the master links just popped themselves off and that was it. So good thing we got another spare, but alrighty. Now we can go to the next one. I was watching and I looked forward, and then all of a sudden I looked back and I was like, hey, it's gone. So I had to turn around and it was laying out in the road. Not damaged, just the clip was gone, so yeah, now we know. Stopped to pick rocks. I didn't even notice. Made it quite a bit. We started way over there. Come on, bud. This stuff's dry. This is good ground. I got my lunch still open. It's got your dog fur in it, bud. Oh, we are racing rain. We are definitely racing the rain. I know, stop yelling at me. I put you in drive before, or forward before. Oh, Planner's yelling at me now too. So it beeps at you, like when you pick it up for the first time, or you're moving but no seeds coming out. And then it goes back to scanning. So, making my boundary. Yeah. Good little field here. So hopefully this year, this was the field that we battled magnesium issues last year, and we actually put K-Mag on in the middle of the season, and the corn did come out of it. So I'm hoping this year we put it on at a higher rate, and I'm hoping that we don't have that issue, and this fall we'll actually seed this back down to grass due to the location of it. Oh, there's some turkeys. 2 hens and a tom. Tom's all done up. So they're out here gonna pick our corn seed. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, they're a pain. That hen's lost out there. Leave her alone though. Yanko. Leave her alone. We got something else going on here. Watch out for the, look at the turtle. So you'll see them in the fields where they're wiggling along. And they're coming up in here to do something. Oh, it's being. So I'm gonna, dude, you got a long way across the desert and I'm gonna hit you. So I'm gonna put you back towards water. Is that okay? Is that okay, bud? Got some deer now. Yanko's not a fan of them. We're seeing all sorts of wildlife today. Hey. That dark sky over there, that does not look appealing. We're gonna get folded up, get moved, see if we can get some disking done. We're gonna get wet. I definitely think we're gonna get wet. So, further behind than I want it to be. As far as folding up, because some people are probably gonna wonder, first, I always unlock just my left marker arm because when I'm doing headlands, I do 2 passes, so I just run the marker on that. The other side I've only unhooked once. So, first you do this, then I come over here, and the outside wheels, I tap those up, and those are the locks that actually hold them up in transport. So you do both of those. What I've learned is, while you're out here, unlock those. I guess I never unlocked that. Oh, I'm losing my mind. So we had no pivot, no flex, which was okay. This feels pretty flat. So, unlock those. I don't know where Yanko is. Get in the planter. Lift it up. The wings will swing in some. Oh, there you are, bud. Unless they're sitting there nicely. Okay. Make sure those pins aren't gonna get crushed underneath the hydraulic line when you push them in, because if they do, they pop up and then you got to do it again. So those are all flexing good. This side, just gonna make sure that doesn't do that. So, oop, see, there we go. Sensor wire. So you come over here. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. It really depends how the ground slopes. So we're good. We got to take those chains off, otherwise we're gonna lose them again though. But then we'll get going, right? Got the hammer down. It is 8:06. Center Concord's probably pretty empty right now, which is good. Oh yeah, not much going on here. So the other day when I rolled through here, like the gas station's open right now, Cumbies, and I think Dunk's was open. So it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday and they're open, but the other day when I came through on a Friday at 7, they had already closed. And somebody said, well, not everywhere should be open because you work ridiculous hours. I literally live in an area where 24-hour stores are what people wanted. And there's a lot of that stuff because of it. It's just limited now because of, well, lack of labor force. So 24-hour gas stations are all around. Same with like Walmart's open till midnight or 11 or stuff. So yeah, when people say, somebody said that comment, we literally live in a world that it used to be Friday nights, everything was open till 10, but we lost a lot of workforce due to reasons. Every time I bring up a reason, people want to tell me I'm why and this and that. So I don't really care what you guys think the reasons are, but I think it's because it's lazy and yep. This lady wanted to come on, you could go. No, okay, we'll let you go. She could have made it, but she pulled out of that and then tried to cut in front of me, and I can't get over any. So thank you. And she doesn't know how to drive, so we are out here and we are getting it done. It's a good freaking time. People see the tractor and they're like, we're gonna jump in front of them. And every time somebody jumps in front of me, I'm like, you're not getting anywhere any quicker, and you just made it a headache for everybody else. So, or people that park on the side of the road like that. I don't get it. You got a driveway. I don't get it. At least they're off the road. Alrighty, that's my ranting about people again. So, appreciate you guys watching along now. Let's go see if we get a rain shower. I already told, so Dave's gonna run truck for me some this week, and I already told him, I said, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be chopping tomorrow. I think that triticale's gonna get rained on and it's gonna be wet. So, yeah, they put those crosswalk median things in too. Can't really fit around those. It does say we're gonna get heavy rain in 40 minutes. Better make sure everything's shut. So I guess everything's gonna get a wash, but in the meantime, we're gonna go try to disc all that up so we don't have to play in the mud and it can dry out some. So we'll get rolling. If I was a little bit ahead, we would have been in a better place, but that's all part of farming. Gotta turn the kill switch on and plug my AC in because it is freaking warm in there. It's been hot today, so a little bit of rain might cool us down, but do remember that our triticale is gonna get washed, so it's gonna take longer to dry. This ground's actually working up pretty well. That's pretty dark. I'm hoping it's gonna go north of us, but I doubt it's gonna. It's pretty dark most of my way across, so this is coming across in front of me. I don't know, but at least we'll get this so we don't have to work in some slop. I really don't want to plant this ground in wet situations, so this might have to wait a few days. I wanted to be done with all the ground I could tonight, but it is what it is, right, buddy? It is lightning, and we're not looking so hot. Yeah, we're right there, so we got 2 classes left. I'm just trying to get this field done. There's 2 little ones over there, but I want to get this done. We got to get out of here. So I got this thing wrapped right up. Probably using up maybe 200 horse. We're not at the 235 yet, but it is freaking lighting the sky up over there. Yeah. Yep, we parked up. I thought about keep going. There's a few acres there, but weather looks pretty bad, and that's a pretty good lightning rod, to be honest, in the middle of the field. So we should get home. Stuff's blowing around like crazy already, so this is gonna be a bad one. Yeah, we're definitely getting wet. Okay, put a damper on the party. We'll get this home, get it tucked away under cover. It's gonna rain for a little bit here, and we haven't even got into the worst parts of it yet. It's still lightning in front of me, so less than ideal. Triticale's probably not going to be dry enough to chop till Wednesday, maybe longer. I got to look back at the weather, but it doesn't look very good after that for doing grass, so we are going to be behind on grass. We'll be behind on corn, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are in the same boat all over the US. So it is what it is. If I had another hour, probably would have had all that corn in, and then I would have been caught up as far as corn planting. Yeah, we made it. Got a little wet. Tractor's telling me it's time to go home. Alrighty, we're gonna get out of here. It's an earlier night, 9:20 right now. We definitely made it further along. Planter got a little cleaned up. And you can read some names. Don't worry, everybody, I forgot the names of. Keep sending your emails if you haven't sent one. I'm right on top of it now, but I need somebody with good handwriting, and I think I'll have that this weekend. So they'll get put on. I appreciate you guys, but alrighty, we're getting out of here. Me and Yanko, get some sleep, edit some video, keep the daily content coming. So if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, drop a comment. Tell me where you're at, what you're planting, how far along you are. Is it wet, dry? But appreciate you guys, and see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.